yang ini ya. This two ya. Let me just put it here. Now the context will be about evaporation rate and also solubility ya. Nah, evaporation rate related to intermolecular forces. Intermolecular forces. Now, for the intermolecular forces, in the slide, actually you are given the information about the type of intermolecular forces. However, in the test, do we really need to know the type? No need. Jadi, no need to explain about what exactly the intermolecular forces, ya. The type of intermolecular forces atau IMF is not needed to explain. What you need to describe, yeah, what you need to state in your answer is only which one is stronger, which one is weaker, because of what. Nanti you provide reason. Now, the main reason actually only because of the melting point data. How do you explain it? For example, you are given data, two solutions, yeah. Let's say one is ethanol, the other is acetone. Yeah, this is the example. Ethanol boil at 78 degrees Celsius. Acetone. Now, let me also cross-check the data, yeah. For acetone, or can someone also check, just Google it, what's the boiling point of acetone? Let me check first. Acetone boiling point. Acetone to 56. Nah, based on these two data, what can you explain? Jadi, you are given this table. Ya, table contain uh, name of the substance. In this case, is ethanol and acetone, for example, yeah. And then the boiling point of them, yeah, the boiling point of them. The boiling point of these two. And then what else? What do you need to explain after that? You need to explain which one will have evaporation rate. I mean, faster, yeah, faster evaporation rate. How do you answer that? You can answer, make it statement like this, yeah, make statement by analyzing atau by using data from boiling point, it show. Nah, nanti you can just add statement. It show that acetone will boil first, indicating acetone will change into gas immediately atau will change into gas faster than ethanol. Karena kan statementnya boiling point, right? What is boiling point again? Boiling point is point at which substance boil, meaning change of state from liquid to gas. Jadi you can just explain from the data given. The data will be in the form of BP atau MT ya. Nanti all of them are connected to that. Nah, do you need to state what is the type of intermolecular forces? No need. You just need to explain that based on the data, acetone will boil first, indicating acetone has lower boiling point. And the most important thing, has weaker intermolecular forces. Because if they have stronger intermolecular forces, they will boil at higher temperature. Now, for intermolecular forces, remember it's also about the diffusion, ya. Because evaporation itu kan will make the room is filled by the gas. So this can be connected to concept of diffusion. What is diffusion again? Yeah, diffusion is the movement of the gas. Yeah, this one is movement of the gas. Movement of the gas from higher concentration to lower concentration. Wait, yeah, I forget the movement of the gas from higher concentration to lower concentration. Okay, that is for intermolecular forces. Now let's go to the last part, which is the solubility. For solubility, how do we do it? Remember, for solubility is about amount, amount of solid dissolved, dissolved in substance. Sorry, dissolved in solvent. Amount of solid dissolved in solvent. Solvent itu pelarutnya ya. Dissolved in solvent. In this case, itu water. Mostly we use water. Now, amount of solid dissolved in solvent depend depend on the form of particle. If it is ion, yeah, they are actually dissolved in the water atau they are able to dissolve, yeah, because we do have some ionic compound that is a bit difficult to dissolve in water, but it will not be tested. What we need to know only if it is ionic, they will dissolve in the water because they form ion, and then later on, ion, yeah, this positive and negative ion will be surrounded by water molecule, molecule, leading to solvation. Okay, this one is optional. If you do not know, it's totally fine. Solvation. You can also search this keyword. Yeah, solvation is a process when ions are surrounded by water molecule. By water molecule. Yeah. Then for the solubility, you just need to know the effect of temperature, right? And we have talked about this. Generally, the higher the temperature, the greater solubility. Why is it like that? Why the greater temperature, the greater the solubility? The main reason for this is actually because heat helps the process to form the ion. Jadi heat given will make compound, any compound, dissociate. Dissociate itu is breakdown atau you can separate them into their ion. Dissociate into their ion. Okay, so I think now it is more logical for you to know that the higher the temperature, the greater the solubility, because the more heat you provide it, yeah, the more heat you give to the solution, this heat will be used to dissociate that ionic compound, yeah, to dissociate, to separate them into their ion. Once they are already in ion state, yeah, they will be surrounded by water, and this one will lead to the solubility. Now, what else that we need to know? Kan ini udah cover nih. Any question maybe? If there is a question, feel free. Anything that you want to ask before I continue? Let me check if there any statement. Do we need to memorize about properties of ethanol and acetone? No, that's only example. Okay, only example, meaning it's not needed. Yeah. Now I will continue again share this. Okay, where I am now. Okay, now the theory part is done. Now we will go to practical part. For the practical part, how will we do it? Do you remember last time in Manage Back, I have provided the brief procedure, yeah, for solubility. For solubility, yeah, you can prepare tripod, yeah, make tripod, and then you need to have a beaker, and then you have to heat this beaker. Jadi, this is beaker, and then you have tripod, and then Bunsen burner. Now, for the sample, you can place them inside, we call it as a boiling tube, yeah, boiling tube. And then for boiling tube, later on, you can insert thermometer, yeah, insert thermometer. Sorry, the writing is not clear, but that's actually for thermometer, yeah. Try to write quickly. Uh, so this is brief about solubility, yeah. And then for this one, that is you like this. Uh, and into solubility, make sure you label the equipment, you state what you have to do. First, you can just prepare all the apparatus needed, such as boiling test tube, thermometer, beaker, tripod, Bunsen burner, and then also the distilled water. Yeah, why do we need to use distilled water? Because this is the solvent, distilled water. Or you can simply say just water is fine. That and then what else? You put the water inside boiling test tube, and you have to name atau sorry, not name, state it ya, state it the volume. Ya, boleh 20 mili or any quantity is fine. And then add the salt, yeah, add the KNO3 or NaCl or any salt that you actually investigate, that you are investigate, yeah, that you are investigating. And then you will set the temperature, right? And then check the amount of salt, yeah, compare before and after. And then you have to reweigh, yeah. When you reweigh, please state the name of the tools. It is balanced. Okay, that's related to apa namanya, to the electric solubility. Now the next one will be about electrical conductivity. Sorry, I will stop screens for a while. I think I need to go to picture so that you can see what I'm referring to. Yeah, I have a picture actually